Bunny, wither you, one of them said, sizing her up with his eyes. Judith looked about her, wondering who they were referring to. Who goes you? Why you dey call like that, like no be you we dey talk to? Ace, give me your phone, he commanded, his hand outstretched, demanding her phone. On what seemed like a peaceful ride, Judith was enjoying her drive home from a busy day. Always so pleasant to read a book whilst on transit, she would often say to herself, as she brings out a couple of The Richest Man in Babylon to read. She has read it for the umpteenth time, yet it still sparks some ideas for her financial life. Judith is the only child of Mr. Atonye, a business mogul in the whole of South. He is known as the top producer and exporter of palm oil, exporting to regions in the country as well as other nations. He would often say to Judith, "You succeed at anything you set your heart to do. Don't bother if it seems small. It was a stone David used in killing Goliath. Keep pushing, keep scaling. You'll succeed in anything, my precious angel." Judith came from a family of love, where both her parents expressed how they feel about themselves and to her as well. She could have everything at her beck and call, but her parents ensured she wasn't going to be spoiled, but well-trained. At a younger age, she'd already been taught how to invest the little money she earns from working around the house at first, then to working in her father's factory or her mother's mechanized laundry. "Madam," the boat driver called out. This was the first time she was actually staring at him since she boarded the ride. Her car had broken down and her tired self couldn't bother to wait for the mechanic to fix the car, so she opted to book a ride. She loves to regard herself as a serial entrepreneur. She owns shares in her parents' companies as well as other major companies in and outside the country. She owns a real estate company where she manages to bring her desires of giving Nigerians as well as Africa at large a suitable housing at affordable rates and payment plans. "Yes," she replied him, fixing her gaze at him through the interior mirror and wondering why he needed her attention. "Ma, the ride, we go offline, no," he said, staring back at her from the interior mirror as well. "I don't understand. Offline? How? Why?" She questioned him in wonder. He kept quiet for a while, staring at her. "Abi, you need to see the price of fuel?" he asked. "And how does that have to do with a ride that I had booked to go online?" she asked, wondering. "Madam, fuel na 1,400 naira o. Except say you go add money on top wetin the app talk." Judith was livid. "You said what? I should pay you over for what I agreed on the app?" "Madam, na so we dey do am o. You either go offline or you add money on top give me. I no get strength, abeg, I no get strength." Tired, but Judith isn't one to cut corners and act unjustifiable. Her new entrepreneur quest was to own a big factory for ready-to-wear Ankara outfits for both male and females. She was super excited about the plan as she hands over the operations to her cousin's sister, who almost made the company hit bankruptcy even before their startup. And with this driver asking of cutting corners, she had to let him have a piece of her mind. "Why then do you use their apps?" she asked him. "With these options, you are better to use the roads for getting your customers, other than using their apps to get their customers and then charging the customers ridiculous deals. That is pure stealing." "Madam, abeg rest. No be me be the first person to steal. Check your politicians dem. Shey na dem be the big thieves dem," the driver said nonchalantly about all Judith had just said. Judith alighted from the taxi and hoping to book another ride. She immediately brought out her iPhone, then she heard a whistle from behind her. She turned, Some group of menacing-looking guys were walking up to her. Oblivious of their intent or the rough stories of Waterside slum, she thought to greet them. "Hi, good evening," she greeted, smiling politely. "Barney, whither you?" one of them said, sizing her up with his eyes. Judith looked about her, wondering who they were referring to. "Who goes you? Why you dey call like that, like no be you we dey talk to?" Another guy asked, wondering why she was looking around her while they were speaking to her. The guy that first spoke asked Judith, "Wetin give you mind? Where you stop for here?" Judith, comprehending what he said, replied him, "Oh, I got into a wrong taxi and I had to just alight from it. He was asking me to cancel the ride so he could get the whole fee for himself. Can you believe that?" They were staring at her, watching as her mouth and hands gestured her words. She went on for a few minutes, ranting about loyalty and how she's a person of principle. At their ends wit of listening to her rant in impeccable English language, they had to get straight to why they came. It was sort of fun to watch, but now it is time for their business. "Ace, give me your phone," he commanded, his hand outstretched, demanding her phone. Judith looked puzzled. "I have to book a ride with it," she said. "I am so exhausted and I have to be at home soonest. Please, could you?" A loud, harsh, commanding voice cut her off. "You think say we dey play for here? Come on your phone, fast!" Judith was trembling now. With shaky hands, she handed over her phone to them, stunned as another one drags off her bag from her arm. Your necklace, I sure say na gold. In short, give me all your jewelry." Now it was evident what was going on. She was being robbed. She caught sight of people passing by and acting as though they were invisible and not seeing the crime that was going on. Oh, a police siren was blaring and its van coming closer. Judith was so relieved, waving her both hands to catch their attention. Awkwardly, the boys didn't budge. They continued searching her bag and taking its possessions. "Ah, senior man, Swale!" Their hands up in salutation. "Wetin dey happen here now?" the policeman asked as he came to a stop. Judith, almost jumping in excitement, started narrating her ordeal. The man blatantly ignored her, spoke to the boys and drove off. "I dey go office, so make una send my own come o, make una no dull." Judith, beyond shocked. This wasn't happening in Nigeria, not to speak of her own Port Harcourt city. Where did we go wrong? She whispered to herself as the boys were walking back to the corner where they came from with her belongings. Stranded, Judith didn't know what to do. She didn't catch the location of the place when she was about to book the ride before the boys took her phone. Not knowing if she could cry, shout, or act normal, Judith decided to walk along the road to see if she might be blessed that day to find some sort of hope. To get out of this goddamn place, she whispered to herself. Watching from afar was Nedu. He was a graduate of mass communication, first-class qualification, but was without a job. He had lived in Waterside almost all his life. His parents cohabitated here, gave birth to all their 7 children, including him. He was the intelligent one and won competitions that aided him in having scholarships till he finished his university education. He would always hear his dad say to him, "Education is the key to a greater future. Read your books so you will bring us out of this pit." It seems they've changed the padlock, As the key isn't working anymore, he'd often reply, recounting the countless times he was invited for interviews but was rejected over someone with higher connections and deep pockets. His credentials didn't matter, so why will he? Ace, make una give that girl back her phone. He called out to the boys who were jubilating over their easy pick. Bobby, you say? One asked, not sure he heard what Nedu said properly. I said that Bunny phone, make una go give her back. She go need them to come up for here now. Una no get sense. Nedu said, boss, no be so. Wetin we don't collect am so. E no concern us that she won't come up for here now. Another guy replied him, assuring Nedu that he wasn't going to return anything to her. It be like say una no get sense, abi. That Bunny no know anywhere for here. Make she no loss, and then we go come enter trouble. Come and take everything wey una collect, go give her back her phone, Joe. Besides, na go last na go use and smoke. The gold jewelry go dey okay na, he said, trying to convince them. Boss man, make point 2 no hear this one at all. Say we nap something and you won't come tell us more, give am back. Him go vex for you. Another guy said, cautioning him. Abeg, make una go give the Bunny her phone, Joe. Make she find way come up for here. Like say all the achieving one that they achieve since. Don't change on her life past this sort of side level. He sighed. They grumbled, and the smallest of them was sent to go give her back her phone. Judith was so thankful. Thank you so much. Thank you. You go send money for my account, though. No be for free. The one they sent to give Judith back her phone said with mischief in his eyes. Judith, knowing that having her phone was the most important thing to her right now, agreed to send him some money. Your account details, please, she asked. The boy didn't believe it would be so easy to get, as he didn't have any account number, but Nedu has. So they walked back to where the other boys and Nedu were seated. They were all surprised to see her. Smally, wetin dey sup now? Their eyes inquisitive. The boy had a story prepared to tell them. She said she won't dash me small robbers, he said, his eyes daring her not to speak. Boss man, referring to Nedu, abeg make I use your account. Smally, sharp guy, one said, hailing him. Nedu takes a glance at a visibly trembling Judith. Hey, Bunny, he called out to her, holding his gaze as a means to reassure her. Nothing dey happen, okay? Just relax. Oddly, Judith felt some calm by his words and comforting eyes. But the tension of standing in the midst of the boys who had just robbed her was a terror of itself. Her mind played a roller coaster thoughts of worst case scenarios that could happen standing right there with them. Fearfully, as she typed the account number called out by Nedu, she felt her heart beating so fast that she couldn't control or slow it down. In few seconds, her lungs couldn't hold enough air. She was gasping for air. Slumped to the ground, she lost consciousness. Everywhere was disruptive. The boys ran as fast as their legs could carry. They didn't want to be associated or caught with a murder case. Nedu was quick to catch her head before it hit the slab of the bench. He gently laid her on the floor, took extra care to support her head and position her on her back. He quickly checked her pulse. She was still breathing. Thankful, he was also in panic now. But it was a huge relief to feel her pulse pulsating. He raised her leg about 12 inches high to help her regain consciousness. Now he waits. With the windy environment, he hopes to get her conscious. Few moments later, he saw her eyelids blink several times. grateful and all smiles. She opened her eyes, her breathing more regulated now. When she saw him and realized she was still at this dreadful scene, she wanted to jump off the ground, but Nedu's strong grip restrained her. "You need to lie down or sit down a while, okay? You just fainted," he said to her, his voice calm and gentle to reassure her she was in no harm's way. After a while, she was beginning to feel much better. "Please, can I get a glass of water?" she asked. "Oh, I forgot. I should have offered you water. You need it to keep you hydrated." He looked around for someone to send, as he wasn't about to leave her all by herself. "Smally, hey, come here." Nedu called out to one of the boys who was peeping behind the corner. "Go Mama Nkechi place. Tell her say make she give you bottle of water sharp sharp. No waste time, oh." Judith was tired. She felt her fatigued body relaxing, and then she dozed off, snoring loudly. "Omo, which kind wahala be this now?" One of the boys recognized as Abe, a Yoruba by ethnicity but born and raised in Port Harcourt, Waterside. He grew up as friends to Nedu. They were the friends that literally did everything together. When Nedu was in school, Abe came over to stay in school with him, most times attending lectures with Nedu, but never participating in anything that would get him caught as not being a student of the school. Abe loves and adores his friendship with Nedu. Nedu is the type of guy to hold your back in every situation. Once he's down with you, he doesn't wait for anyone to compel him. He does or says his mind ASAP. Now why I no like him sometimes, Sha, he would often say when discussing about his friendship with Nedu. "Guy, wetin be this now? Which kind wahala be this?" Abe said, pacing back and forth in their little veranda as they watched Judith sleep so soundly in their apartment. "We just have to wait till she wakes up. Make we no go put ourselves for wahala now," Nedu replies him, taking a soft gaze at Judith as she sleeps so soundly. "She sleeps like a baby," Abe heard Nedu say. "Guy, come on, wake up! Wetin dey sup for here now?" Abe snaps his fingers at Nedu. Nedu blinked several times. "You to see am now," he said, gesturing to a fast asleep Judith. 2 hours into her sleep, Judith felt a ting in her feet, jerks her leg in reflex. She wakes up fully, stared about her strange environment. The apartment was the smallest she has ever seen. So small, yet it contained some basic things needed for daily living. A mattress, a chair, a wardrobe, shoe rack, and surprisingly a bookshelf. There was a knock on the door. She didn't know what to do, sat up fully when she saw Nedu walked in with a smile. "Hi, how are you feeling now?" he asked, realizing he had been the one that revived her and probably brought her here to sleep. "Thank you immensely for your help. I didn't know what would have happened to me if you weren't there." Nedu replied her, making sure to keep his distance at the door. "It's fine. I'm so glad you're up and feeling better. Would you mind another bottle of water to keep you hydrated?" Sure, yes, please, yes," Judith said, her eyes grateful for his help. "Can I book a ride for you?" Nedu asked her after confirming she was much better and ready to be on her way. "Yes, sure, please. To GRA Tombia Extension," as she gives him the detailed address to her house. "Nedu, thank you so much," Judith said, as she gently hops in the boat ride. Nedu waves at her, surprised as she knew his name. "I'm sorry, please, I didn't catch your name," he asked. "It's Judith," Judith said, "and here is my phone number." Abe, standing a distance off, was grateful this episode was over. This episode is not over. Tune in for more coming your way. I'm a Port Harcourt girl, and what better way to share intriguing stories in Port Harcourt style that will teach, inspire, and motivate you in becoming a better person. Subscribe to Ugochi Tales TV, please, if you haven't. This is a home of beautiful storytelling. See you on the next tale, fam. Keep loving on yourself. Bye for now. Mwah.